The endgame is finally here, guys. So is Barry able to save his mom, or is he destined to fail? Find out my recap and reaction of episode 23 of The Flash fast enough. The episode starts with Barry confronting Eobard at his cell at the Star Labs. Eobard is disappointed that Barry didn't bring any Big Belly Burger, as cows are extinct in his time, but that's not what Barry wants to know. He wants to know why Eobard killed his mom, and the answer is simple, because he hates the Flash. But not this Flash, the Flash in the future. Eobard says in the future, they're the greatest of enemies, opposites of each other, with either being able to stop the other, until one day Eobard discovered the Flash's secret identity. With that information, he traveled into the past to kill Barry as a child, and prevent the Flash from ever existing. But when future Barry followed and stopped him from killing younger Barry, Eobard killed his mom instead, making the younger him live through the trauma of seeing his mom die, thus still preventing him from becoming the Flash. But his plan worked a little too well, as stopping the Flash from being made severed his connection from the Speed Force. He says that he had to let Barry become the Flash as Harrison Wells because he needed the Flash's powers to get back to his time, which leads us to now. Eobard tells Barry that if he lets him go back home, he will tell him how to go back in time to save his mother. Barry tells Team Flash about Eobard's offer. Professor Stein explains that if Barry goes back in time, he could inadvertently set off a chain reaction of possible futures, and there's no telling how any of their lives could end up. Joe tells Barry that despite the risk, he should try to save his mom. Barry then goes to Iron Heights to explain his plan to his father. Henry tells Barry that he shouldn't do it because the risk is too great. He says that Nora would be proud of the man that Barry has become, and that she wouldn't want him to go into the past either. Back at Star Labs, Ronnie tells Caitlin that he and Professor Stein are staying in Central City permanently. He tells Caitlin that he loves her and that they should get married, which was the original plan before the particle accelerator exploded. Barry's thinking about his choice when Iris finds him. She asks Barry if he's going to go back. Barry explains how he's waited too long to admit his true feelings for Iris, but is grateful for the life he's had with her and Joe. He asks Iris what to do. She says that he needs to do what's best for him. Barry asks Eobard how he can travel to the past. He explains that Barry has to use the particle accelerator. If Barry runs through the accelerator fast enough, he'll create a wormhole through time. With the wormhole, Barry can travel to the past to save his mother, and Eobard can return home. Cisco and Professor Stein confirm that the plan could theoretically work, but Barry would have to hit Mach 2 at very least. Barry asks Cisco to build a time machine for Eobard to use, as his connection to the Speed Force is still limited. Cisco visits Eobard in his cell and asks him for some ideas on the time machine. He gives Cisco the info, but wonders why Cisco doesn't understand what he's trying to do. Cisco explains that in the alternative timeline, he still remembers where Eobard killed him. He then realizes that Cisco can see the vibrations of parallel dimensions, and that he must have been affected by the particle accelerator too. He tells him not to be afraid, as a great destiny awaits him, and to remember this gift was given with love. Professor Stein talks with Eddie, who's feeling a little useless since Reverse Flash told him that he does nothing with his life. Stein tells Eddie not to believe the Reverse Flash's words, saying that he's an anomaly in time and can choose his own future. Stein then discovers that in traveling through time, Barry could create a black hole that would destroy the planet. Eobard assures the group that Barry won't create a black hole, just as long as he returns to the present in under a minute and 52 seconds. With the risk growing, Barry becomes unsure if he should travel back, but Joe tells Barry that he is fast enough to save his mother and not destroy the world. Barry suits up and prepares for his trip to the past. Cisco tells him to wait until future him gets child him to safety before saving his mom. Barry says goodbye to his team and enters the accelerator. Eobard says that Barry now holds both their futures in his hands. Then he tells him to run, Barry, run. Barry runs. He soon hits Mach 2, and he sees the Speed Force, getting glimpses of the past, present, and future. Eobard tells him to focus on the night of his mom's murder. Barry hits a stable wormhole and successfully travels to that night. Barry sees future him battling Reverse Flash. Older Flash sees present Flash and tells him not to save Nora. Barry closes his eyes as he lets Reverse Flash stab his mother. When he leaves, Barry enters the room and talks to his mom before she dies. He takes off his mask and tells Nora that he and his dad are fine. Nora then tells her son goodbye and dies. Back in the present, Eobard dons his reverse flash suit and enters his time machine. He notes how it's based off Rip Hunter's design. Just then, Jay Garrick's metal flash helmet jumps out of the wormhole, which he takes as his cue to leave. He gets in the machine and prepares to leave, but just before he does, Flash re-emerges from the wormhole, punching him in the face and stopping him from escaping. Reverse Flash asks Barry why he didn't save Nora. Barry says he already has everything he's ever wanted. They start fighting, both getting in good shots, but Reverse Flash comes out on top. He's about to kill Flash, but a gun fires. It's from Eddie, who just shot himself. By killing himself, Eddie prevented the Reverse Flash from ever existing. Eobard reverts back to his original form, and before vanishing, he tells Barry that he's been in control of his life for so long, he wonders how he's going to live without him. And despite their best efforts, the wormhole reopens. It's growing larger and larger, becoming a black hole above Central City. Barry's not sure if he can stop it, but he's gonna try. Barry runs up a building and jumps into the wormhole. And bam, there you have it. Season 1 of The Flash. That was a pretty good season finale as far as season finales go. I'm not a super crazy fan of how it just abruptly ended, but everything before that was just awesome. Jay Garrick's helmet, I mean, what is that about? I just cannot even right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, didn't really get emotional when Barry's mom died, because it was her destiny to die. Go watch some Flashpoint Paradox, it'll explain it all to you. I did get emotional when Eddie shot himself. That was crazy. I didn't expect that to be happening. That was super crazy. And he's like, I just want to die as your hero, Iris. I was like, oh, stop it, dude. God, you're such a good person. Stop being such a good person all the time. Ugh. I'm a little mad we didn't get to solve the mystery of where Future Barry went, but I'm sure that's probably something that's going to come up in Season 2. And I think Season 2 is going to be him just traveling from different Earths. Earth 2, Earth 4, Earth 7. That one Earth where Batman's a caveman. Yeah, that happened. Go look it up. I mean, that's going to be pretty crazy. It's going to be like the old show Quantum Leap. Go look that up. It's going to be that, except with the Flash and Flash's Rogue Gallery and other DC characters. So then really I guess it's not going to be like that at all. But it kind of like that. And that's about everything. I think I'd give Season 1 of The Flash 9 Flashpoint Paradoxes out of 10. It was pretty good. I will, however, say the first 2 episodes, they were a little boring. So if you are new to this for some reason or another, the first 2 episodes are not gonna feel quite like the rest of the series. So get through the first 2, and then on number 3, it's the Flash. He feels like the Flash in episode number 3. You will feel him be the Flash. He will be your Flash. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, or check out some of the other videos we have on the channel. We'd really appreciate it.